Does anybody else grow food for funsies and then you just don't want to deal with it? It's 9:26. I'm giving myself 1 hour to harvest everything that I can harvest. Does anybody grow food because you love food so much that you fear that you won't be able to get food one day and that you'll have this garden that you grew the food, but then when you are able to get food and you don't necessarily need the garden, you regret having to process all of this stuff? 9:32, and this is all from one plant. Is anybody else's dahlias taller than them? It's like 5'5". Look at those mamma jammas. Does anybody else leave carrots so long in the ground that the animals are eating them? It's 9:41. This is from the second plant. Does anybody else grow a big archway of beans that you can't eat because they're ornamental? Does anybody else hate when you grow sunflowers and they don't point inwards to the garden? Because they follow the sun and the sun's that way? You tell me, is it pretty? Anybody else grow cherry tomatoes despite the fact that your family doesn't eat them every single year? Did anybody else know that this is the flower of a garlic chive? Did anybody else use Texas tomato cages this year and discover that they absolutely love them and you're never going back? It's 9:54 and that's plant number 3. Anybody else grow food that you haven't even tried yet and you don't even know if you're gonna like it? Anybody else grow blackberries in the garden for the first time this year? It's 10:04 and this is plant number 4. Anybody else grow strawberries in the garden just so you have a garden snack? Anyone else not realize how big one Thai basil plant can get? Anyone else always forget something when you go to the garden? Anybody else tell yourself you're gonna harvest one type of crop and then you go outside and you decide to move on to the next one? Here comes peppers. It's 10:19. There's all of the bell peppers and lipstick peppers. Anybody else grow a trap crop that actually outlived the crop that you were trying to trap the bugs from and that other crop died? Anyone else have plants popping up in your walkways? Anyone else have a compost tomato plant? Did anybody else buy sweet potato vines from the nursery and wonder if there's actually a sweet potato growing in there? Did anybody else only get one good spaghetti squash? The ones hanging on there are rotting. It's 10:26 and this is everything we harvested in an hour. But be sure to like and follow because there's a lot more to go. I didn't even touch those tomato plants.